Hi, welcome. On this video, as part of my series called Flipping the Script, I want to provide some insight and context by way of the role of influence as defined by a process. And here in this video, put out by a very popular balanced dog trainer, Larry Krohn, really serves to highlight the confusion happening in the dog training world by way of response and the jumping in point as it relates to a relationship problem between a dog and a owner. And here in this video titled Don't Force the Down or any command in dog training, going to be, again, using this as a way to kind of really illustrate, help to encourage people to apply some critical thinking, okay, in terms of beyond just a response. As to the core ingredients I talk about, influence and control to change perceptions of dogs. And again, taking the path of a intervention once a relationship problem is underway. And in terms of the solution, by way of a intentional interaction-based method, which brings in those core ingredients I talk about, influence and control, into the equation. And again, taken to a type of a power play. But again, when I talk about power play, okay, by way of those core ingredients in terms of dogs as social animals, strength and weakness as defined through the relationship. It's a type of power play, again, going over into the parenting example, which I talk about on many of my videos to help to really illustrate the problems in the dog training world, to understand, your role, the role of a process. It's no different in terms of you talk about, influence and control, demand. The difference between, putting a demand on the selfish child to pick up their toys that because you're the parent versus, pick up the toys and here's a brand new Xbox game. Okay. But again, once a relationship problem is underway, once a child's already selfish, then it changes everything, especially if that is what, you're focusing in on as your jumping in point to affect change, a process. At that point, in terms of the current state of relationship, well, now that's going to present a problem because, in terms of just superficial response, the question asked, is that really what it's about? Is that where you can put your faith, hope, and trust in terms of just engaging at that level that way? And this goes into raising this core issue about, well, when does bribery become bribery when you're using treats or motivating a dog to respond? Well, bribery becomes bribery when you fail to consider the current state of the relationship, that once a relationship problem is underway, now when you're trying to generate a response, now it's become bribery. Okay, understand that that's really the criteria for bribery. Now here, very interesting, because again, we talk about balanced dog trainers, being different than force free. Well, they're really not. Okay, based again on how they're engaging relationship problem, how they're, getting a dog to respond at the very beginning by way, again, of using a motivating agent. Because then again, the question is, well, is it just about response this way? And my response to that is absolutely not. This is where, again, people will ask me, well, Dale, if you're not using treats, how are you motivating a response? Well, understand this is the problem in the dog training world. This is like hardwired in. This is where you need to really think about what I'm saying, because it's no different than, say, as a parent, you're experiencing a relationship problem with a child and you're getting some so-called professional come into your home to advocate. And think about the professional coming through in terms of a relationship problem with your child, you as a parent, and the only thought process going on with that individual coming in is, how can I get the child to respond, so I can just package that up that you can trust, that they can trust, so just sell it that way, Mark. And that's ridiculous. So they're coming in like, like Santa Claus with a bag of goodies, a sack, and they're not even considering the parenting, the parenting style and play, whether it's the authoritative parenting style, not considering your role, not getting you to engage and interact with. You're not putting all those things together, structure, none of that way. They're just simply coming in and just getting the child to respond to something that they want, like Santa Claus, and then they're just saying, well, you can trust those responses, and they're just walking away, just like walking, away from the scene of a crime. Then you wonder why, the relationship isn't actually getting any better. So just think about, because that really serves as what's going on in the dog training world. So here, I'm going to play some of this video because there's an interesting moment here that happens. Okay, when he's coming out here, trying to get this dog to respond. Now, this goes into the thing about commands too. If you go watch my videos with the board and train, you'll see how I'm not even verbally using commands till several days into a process where I'm interacting with dogs. So understand, again, go back to the question, what do I use as a motivator? Well, no, the relationship's the motivator. Okay, you need to think different, and you need to bring in order to bring those core ingredients in, influence and control at the right level, the right way, that they align properly. It's got to come through. What you need to dovetail in is a interaction-based approach method. Okay, that provides clarity to the dog, that speaks the right language, and so not verbal language, intent. Okay, intent meaning the dog understands intent through how the interactions are coming together, a dog coming into agreement with those interactions. So we'll take a type of a power play, but to maximize agreeableness, right, to keep the level of challenge down, those interactions need to align properly. That's very important. So here, same thing here. So you want to, again, frame it up in a way in which the dog's going to come into agreement with. So after a few days in, again, by way, again, of perceptions changing through these core ingredients coming into a intentional interaction-based method, this is where you will start to, use verbal commands as perceptions change. So it's really about, packaging, repackaging, re-signing the social contract. So again, I'll play some of this video again, and I'll make a couple comments, but, pay attention to what I call exit stage left.
Down. Down. Patting Plutz. Plutz. Patting down. All right, come on, buddy. Come on.
So here, notice he's got a different shirt on. Okay, so, there's been a change of attire, but the question asked is, well, what happened? What was done between that moment and, where he's changed his shirt? Clearly, he's, done something, right, to generate a response. Well, the done something part, understand what balanced dog training is to use a motivator such as treats or something to motivate the dog to respond. Not the core ingredients, but the way I described. Okay?
What are you doing? Good, down, free dog.
So, but the question asks, well, is that good in the sense of what I talk about in terms of perceptions changing? Absolutely not. Okay, I understand there's nothing good about, approaching, a relationship problem as a learning-based exercise. It's not about just about superficial response, like a guy coming in like Santa Claus in the middle of a relationship problem to generate superficial response. So again, my encouragement to anyone looking at what's going on in the dog training world is understand that why it's so common for people to invest, time, money, and energy into this superficial ideas of what training is, only to discover after getting their certificate, they're still dealing with a relationship problem. Understand that happens all the time. And then when you get so many trainers doing it through balanced and force free, it seems almost normal to blame the dog. Okay, this is where we're at. So again, my encouragement is understand your role, the role of influence. Okay, it needs to come in by way at the right level, the right way, align the right way, and it happens through a intentional interaction-based approach. So check out my website, lots of great information, talk about not just the problem, but the solution by way, again, of a process which brings those core ingredients in the right way. Thanks for watching.